Hey, good morning. Saturday morning, sunny, July the 11th, 12th, 13th maybe. 13th, I think. I'd have to look, make sure, but I ain't gonna get up to look. Well, I caught another little piece of information this morning. It's I'd say the way the track record is going, around Tucker Carlson, you better listen, because Tuck is tough, and there's a bunch of them other Fox uh, newscasters are tough. They don't tell it unless it's pretty well there. I mean, look at their track record, man. All the stuff that Fox come out on back when Obama was in, and they'd talk about this, they'd talk about that, and Obama said, "All them conspiracy theories," and all this stuff that went on Obama, before he left office. There's not a scandal that we're ashamed of. Not a smidgen of scandal we're ashamed of. I don't doubt it one bit. And Joe Biden, oh, there's not a smidgen of scandal that we're ashamed of. There's a key word there. Now listen, there's a key word to that statement. There's not a smidgen of scandal that we're ashamed of. Okay, there's a key word. Now, I've been trying to explain this to people here on Facebook, at Twisted World News. I've been trying to explain this to you for, I don't know, 6, 8 years. As long as I've been doing Twisted World News, and maybe even before that, I'd comment on stuff, because I've been on here a little while. But I've been trying to explain that. There's not a smidgen of scandal that we're ashamed of. I've told you. The difference in your government is in the turn of a hand. Okay? The difference in your government is in the turn of a hand. The difference in your government is what they are willing to do and not willing to do. And whether they are honorable or whether they are dishonorable. Whether they are truthful or whether they are liars. See, that's, I've been called all kinds of things. I've had, well, we'll say more than 2 different things said about me. But, you just, conservative and liberal. Conservative is to be more withheld, more pulled back, and that you will not give yourself over into as much stuff as liberals. You will not give yourself over into too much stuff with the fear that it will take you into areas that you actually have no right to be in, that you should not be in. Liberalism is an excuse. Liberalism lies. It cheats, it steals, it rapes, it murders, it does all kinds of freaking garbage. Why? Because it's an excuse. Liberalism is a lie. There is not a smidgen of scandal that we're ashamed of. There's a key word there. We know the scandals were there. We know for a fact they took place. Fox talked about it for years. They've talked about it for years. And now we know the facts are out. They know the scandal. They know these. See, this is the thing. They know Benghazi took place. They know Fast and Furious took place. They knew the screwing of Bernie Sanders took place in 2015 or 16. They knew Hillary was given the questions in a debate before she was asked. They know the FBI and the DOJ and the CIA and IRS and they know Google and Facebook and all of them. They know all these people. They know all these people done all this trash that they wasn't morally supposed to do, but they done it immorally. They committed themselves to it. We know it took place. But see, this is the thing. The facts are out there. It did take place. It is taking place. But this is the key word. There is not a smidgen of scandal that we're ashamed of. Turn of a hand. Turn of a hand. There's not a smidgen of scandal that we're ashamed of. I'm going to read you something. I've read it different times, but I'm going to read it to you and tell you why. I'm going to try to explain to you again why this goes on, people. Why this rot continues to just fester and fester and fester. Why these liberals and socialists, their lies are without end. They never stop. It continues day after day after day. They're behind closed doors scheming, plotting. What, back 3 months ago? 3 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, a bunch of these Democratic heads went down into Cuba. They was going there supposedly to gather some rays or catch some rays, and they got down there. What did they do? They went in behind closed doors and they had powwows. They wasn't gathering rays. They didn't want tens. They wanted a secret place to powwow. David said in the Old Testament, the wicked plot behind closed doors to capture my soul. They were making powwows. Secret, behind closed doors, powwows. Plotting their next plan. Now listen, I'm gonna bring some more stuff out here if it don't slip my mind. All right, this is Isaiah 32, 5 through 8. God pointed this out to me. I went to read it in 2012. Didn't even know where I was opening my Bible. I just opened up at a marker. Had a piece of paper sticking in between the pages, end of the book, like up here, and I just opened up a piece of paper. Didn't even know where I was going. Isaiah 32. I started reading. Okay, I read 1, 2, 3, 4 verses. Before I started reading verse 5, it was as if God sort of elbowed me and said, check this out. All right, now listen. Now this is after Obama got into office for his second term, just within weeks, just maybe 2 weeks. Now listen. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor shall the churl said to be bountiful. The churl is marked because in the Bible they'll put a word below it that will tell you what that word actually means. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor shall the churl said to be bountiful. Well, now, churl was marked. They got this footnote on it. Right below the verse, it has a word there that churl stands for. The word is full. Okay? Nor shall the full said to be bountiful. Now, you got to people listen. You've got to realize this is no more political. Don't let these people BS you. It's not. It's not. For the vile person will speak villainy. The liberal person. The liberal will speak villainy. Okay? The liberal will speak villainy. And his heart will work iniquity. Hidden iniquity is hidden things, hidden shames, covered up to where peering eyes or people cannot see it, they cannot hear it. And his heart will work iniquity, the hidden sin of his heart. Okay, his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy. He means he'll do things, and those things will be totally opposite of what he's telling. That's what hypocrisy is. Totally opposite of what he said. Now, we're still talking about the liberal. The vile, the liberal. All right. To practice hypocrisy, and he will utter error and to utter error against the truth, against the Lord of honor, the Lord of truth, the Lord of discretion and regard, the Lord of righteousness and holiness. He will utter error against the Lord to make empty the soul, of the hungry. Oh Lord, why am I not content? Why are things going on the way they are? Why is life such crock? To make empty the soul of the hungry, and He will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. He will cause even the things that are important to life to come up short, to fail. The vile person will no more be called liberal. It means the cheat, the plotter, the schemer. They will no longer be called liberal. No more be called liberal. Why? Why will they not be called that? They do ugly things. They do all kinds of garbage. Why will they no longer be called liberal? Oh, pay attention. And it goes on and says, for the vile person will speak villainy, his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and He will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. Verse 7, the instruments also of the churl, or the fool, the instruments also of the fool are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. The instruments of the churl, the fool, the instruments of the fool are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. Now listen, even when the needy speaketh right. Even when the needy speak, even when those that are actually in need of what is needed, that actually in need of things that are wanted for their life, to sustain their life. Even when they speak the truth, even when they speak honor, even when they seek justice, even when they do that which is right, the churl or the fool, he devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. Even though the poor are doing what is right, that villainous, vile person does things that will create the destruction of their lives. But the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. Excuse me. But the liberal deviseth liberal things. He devises these excuses into the things that should not be taking place. He devises excuses into these things. He devises excuses into these things, and by these excuses, by these lies, by this deceitful, slandering type action, and by these liberal things he standeth. Because of his excuses made unto others, others support them. Their cheating and their lying is supported. A vicious circle of villainy. Look at it. Like I said, I've had more than two things said about me. And this is kind of colorful. Listen, I watch these people, these liberals, their words, their excuses they make, and then I watch these people that are out there supporting these lying liberals and scheming socialists that are making up the Democratic Party today. I mean, there's some corruption in the Republican too. But hey, listen, they ain't nothing like what's in the Democratic Party. Not nothing. They don't even compare in any way, shape, or form, son. But lying liberals and scheming so they make up the Democratic Party today. On the federal level, my words come up short to what these people will do. I just read it to you. What they will do. I just read it to you. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, to utter error against the truth. To utter error against the truth, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. He worketh villainy. He practices hypocrisy. He even speaks error. He lies and schemes and plots with ugly intentions toward something decent, honorable, worth respecting, something that actually deserves regard in every way. His words, his intentions. I told you, people, this is not political, people. It's not political. It's not political. It's ugly, people. It's ugly. These people are schemers, plotters, cheats, liars, doing things that should not be done. This garbage shouldn't even be. This is vile enough that even the socialist countries shouldn't do this. They would even know better. But it's being done in a nation that was formed from truthful, honest, decent words. Formed in it. And these people are up there. They've given themselves excuses. They give each other excuses. And they garner excuses by the little peons on the street because they let the peon act the way they do. Stuff shouldn't be going on, people. Shouldn't even be going on. A.G. Barr is fighting for the office of the presidency. He's not protecting Trump. He's protecting the office. He's protecting an element of government formed to serve justice to a people. He's protecting an element of that justice, that said justice could stay in place. That people, that the courtrooms will function. He's protecting the office. I told you, you need to pay attention to what Fox News tells you. Now this is what I'm going to get at. Tucker Carlson, Fox News caster, news anchor, during the evenings. I wish I had my phone, I'd bring it up. But Carlson said, what's going on now? Around these schools, Heather Lockhart and this other woman, they had paid for this, the right for their child to be accepted. They put big money into them being accepted and in these elite schools and all this. Carlson's saying Democrats right now said they got their hands in this stuff. That Democrats and these people are throwing big money into these schools, getting their children, favors for their children through these schools because of their money. Because of their standing. These schools are getting big allotments of money, grants or whatever, who knows how much, but they're doing it because these Democrats have got their children going into those schools. they get their children in, they get a grant. I'm telling you, man. Fox News tells you, you better listen. You better pay attention. Because of this, and they've done it for years now. Obama said, Fox News is what's wrong, what's causing me all the trouble. Fox News freaking spilled the beans on him, son. Obama was getting by with murder, and Fox News was calling his hand. And now we know for a fact it took place just as Fox said it was. It took place, and it's still taking place. But see, it's going deeper now. These liberals got their hands in poop, and it's ugly, people. I'm telling you, it's ugly. Liberal, remember, I just read to you out of the words of truth. I just read to you what a liberal does. I just read to you what a churro or the fool does. I just read it to you out of the word of truth. Now you have evidence of what this book is saying. Evidence has shown up and proven this book true, people. The evidence is taking place right now. Right now in the federal government. The evidence is taking place. The Pope, man, this godless, immoral rot that's turned up in the lives of these liberals and socialists, it's unreal. It's, man, the lies, God, the lies that these Muslim women representatives and AOC have been telling, the lies and stuff, they're getting caught up in this stuff. People, it's freaking almost daily now. I mean, it's not daily, but it's getting close. The garbage that these Democrat people are coming up with, it's unreal. They're getting caught up in it right and left, man. And now we hear about these schools, these top name schools, you know, the 4-star or 5-star schools, about the Democrats being brought in, about these Democrats being brought, about how their children are getting in these schools, and then the federal government throws them grants, millions of dollars worth of grants. Wow. And that's not all. That's not all. It keeps running. Liberal, charitable, the fool, the garbage, the villainy, the vile, the excuses, all this rot's going on. You know, it's not political, people. Get that out of your head. It's no longer political. And now we're hearing about something else. Nancy Pelosi's own daughter, this Epstein Lyota Express or whatever it is, child sex trafficking and all this stuff. Bill Clinton up in, they say he said his spokesman or lawyer said, well, he ain't been on it but 4 times and they wasn't no children on it. He been. But the flight records of trips and stuff says he's been on it 26 or 27 times and said there were children on it. It's getting deeper. Nancy Pelosi's daughter, what's her name? You know, the one that says, my mama can cut your throat, cut your head off, and you won't even know it. You know, bragging on her mama, bragging on her vile mama. Okay, bragging on her vile mama. All right, now we're finding out. She comes out here when this Epstein thing comes up and all this and hits the news again. We find out Bill Clinton's calling this. And then this girl, this woman, Nancy Pelosi's daughter, says, "This could affect a lot of our faves." A lot of faves. What favorites? Leaders? Big names? This Epstein plane thing and island sexual youngster trafficking could affect a lot of the people that we support and they support us. It's getting ugly. Hey, I'm telling you, right here, people. Listen, I'll show it to you. Right here. Right here. For the vile person will speak villainy, his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the truth, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. I just read it right there earlier, people. I just read it to you. Liberal is a lie. Churl or fool is a lie. What's going on, people? What's going on in the liberal, socialist? I mean, look at them people. They're so full of rot and corruption. They're up there arguing one another now. Wherein being strife, wherein there's envy and strife, there's every evil work. That's New Testament Bible. Wherein there is envy and strife, there is every evil work. I've told you I don't know how many times. Liberalism carries the seed of chaos and anarchy. Wow. And people look at these riots, Antifa, all these liberals are backing this stuff. They're supporting them. They're the ones that's keeping Antifa alive. You got conservative leaders or congressmen up there right now saying, hey, Antifa needs to be marked as a terrorist organization. They come in mass, they carrying sticks and stuff. We've got videos of them attacking people because they didn't agree with them. They attack people, these socialists friggin' attacking decent people, even old people at these rallies around the campaign. Remember, they'd have a rally with for Trump or something, and then you get these friggin' socialists coming through there. They'd attack these old people and hit them and everything else. They just showed a picture on the it's been going around for about 2 weeks now, some week and a half. This old man, he's an elderly guy, his face is bloody and everything, where his Antifa has attacked him. And listen, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you. I want to talk to you perverts that are backing them. I'm talking to you. If you back that garbage, you need to be taken out and a ball bat crush your head. If you will not repent and you continue backing them, you need your head crushed. You need your friggin' head crushed. You support that friggin' garbage. You are a terrorist. You are a terrorist. That's the truth. Baby, I ain't no friggin' liberal. I ain't gonna scratch your friggin' butt and rub your crotch and pat that vile pride that's going on in you. I ain't no friggin' liberal. We got problems, people. You got perversions in power. I've talked to you about the high places, about the thoughts, godless, immoral garbage going on in the hearts and minds of people in power. Garbage going on in the hearts and minds of people that follow that stuff. Israel would fail because they would not remove the high places. The places that were rooted and grounded for their rot and the trash, the godless, immoral garbage that they wanted to commit against God and against their neighbor. That garbage would not be removed from their hearts and minds. Carlson. Man, he steps out on a limb all the time. I mean, and old Sean Hannity and others do. Laura Ingraham and others, man, they just come out on step out on these limbs. They do it right and left. But see what we're finding out. They say this stuff like Hannity talked about. Well, Carlson did too, and others, about all this garbage went on when Obama was in office, and Hannity was reporting on it then. This ain't right. This ain't right. What they're doing is wrong. It's against the law. It's against our Constitution. All this stuff, and they all done it. Fox, about all of Fox done, not all of them. Some of them are liberals who shouldn't even be on television. A liberal, there should never be a liberal put in front of public or put in a public service. Never, never. One of the stupidest, butt-leggingest thing you ever done in your life is put a liberal in public service in power. It's butt-licking stupid. But they talked about that, and now we know for a fact it's going on. It's uncovered now. But now it's uncovered. But the big question now is how many more names are popping up? The names are being added, man. This attitude of rot, this attitude of evil, this attitude of slander, this attitude of cheating, this attitude of lying, this attitude of scheming and plotting, this attitude of accepted treason. These people have declared themselves against you, your family, and your bloodline. They have declared within themselves, we will steal the rights of the American citizen. They've declared it within themselves. Now, but it keeps coming up. But the Iota Express, more and more names. Nancy Pelosi's daughter's already let it spring. She might not have even said what she did, but she did. She said it. If she'd had a brain, she'd kept her trap shut. But she didn't. She ran her mouth. But these people tell on themselves all the time. All you do is give them time. They tell on themselves. Oh, this could affect a lot of our faves. Thank you, child. Thank you for telling us. How many faves you got? More and more names are popping up. Now I'm gonna go right back to where I've begun the video, and I'm gonna cut it off right there. Be Lord's will. Be Lord's will. I'll cut it off right there. At the turn of a hand. Your government is good or bad at the turn of a hand. Radical Islam was given a pass under Obama. Hardcore socialism was given a pass under Obama. The White House painted gay colors. And just the hatred of BLM, Black Lives Matter, given a pass. The garbage of civil rights and NAACP and all these organizations that's screaming this and that and whatever, given a pass. They supported Black Lives Matter. They supported the rioting. They supported the destruction of personal property. They supported all this friggin' rot. Given a pass. Given a pass. Why? Because the man in office, Barack Hussein Obama, is a pervert. A lying, scheming, cheating, half-breed communist Muslim pervert that acts like a nigger. The black community calls a man that can't be trusted, they call him a nigger. Barack Obama acted and still acting like a a nigger. And there's some white niggers and red niggers and yellow niggers. They, let's just face it, let's be honest about it. It's sin against God, atrocities against their brother. That's the way it is. It's wrong. But they were given a pass. Excuses made. People hurt. People cry. The lies of liberalism and the treachery of scheming socialism have garnered support in America. It has never worked in the world. The numbers, there's no friggin' way in. Listen, people, there is no way in hell to make socialism work with the colors and the what you have to paint and what you're promising people and all this stuff. The numbers are impossible. They are impossible. It is impossible for socialism to give you what they're painting. Look back here. This fella back here. This fella back here. He's you might say he's one of the peons that socialism misled. In summer, snow in, sunny beach. No. He's a peon that socialism misled. I'm using him for an example. He's hilarious to watch him, but I'm just using him for an example. He believes a lie that is literally impossible. The only way he could do it, he'd have to have a balloon costume on that had a big air conditioner around it, mounted in the back of it, and him dragging along with him. That's all. But I'm gonna tell him, you better not. Someone wanted to tell him the truth, and then the little lady on the movie Frozen, the little lady, what is it, Shim, whatever his name was, says I'm gonna tell him. He's singing this song and or finishes the song and this Hill Jack looks at him and or thinks about it and says, hey, yeah, someone's got to tell him the truth. Snowman and sun don't mix. And I'm going to tell him. And the little lady said, you better not. It's not good, people. Twist of World News, John Davis, Southern West Virginia. I'm going to tell him. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. There's people out there that love God, love freedom and liberty, they love this nation. They love our duly elected president, Donald J. Trump. And they love our chosen sidekick of Donald. They love Vice President Pence. We do. We love them, man. Hey, we see things being brought out and coming back to the front and center that have been erased for years. We're seeing it. And these perverts, a little bit, this stuff is the more it uncovers, the more it's going to change things through the whole fabric of our government. As these perverts are removed from offices and locked up, got out of the public's face, our government will start referring back to the truth and honor of the Bible and their leaders, our forefathers, that put those truths and those honors up front in order to serve freedom and liberty and justice for all. But the perverts, remember what I said, liberals should never be put in offices, public offices of authority, is one of the butt-licking, stupidest things you ever done, was put a liberal in authority. We put them in authority and excuses were made, and now look at it. I'm going to say this and I'm going to close. The Democratic Party made excuse for a few little smelly turds of ideas, and now they're dealing with the whole friggin' sewer. It's in their face. Nancy Pelosi and AOC and others. Stupid stuff. Wherein there's envy and strife, there's every evil work. Have a good. I told you the truth, people. Take hold of it. Learn from it.